Section 3.7 Credit Cards, Video 1. In this video, we will cover the following objective. Apply the average daily balance method for calculating credit card interest. We will begin with a definition. An open-end installment loan is one of revolving credit that allows continual access to money up to a certain limit as long as payments are made on time. Credit cards are examples of open-end installment loans where the finance charge or interest is calculated using the simple interest formula, I equals PRT, where R is the annual rate and T is the time in years. Various methods exist for calculating the value of P. Two common methods are the average daily balance method and the unpaid balance method. In this video, we will cover the average daily balance method. The average daily balance is the sum of unpaid balances for each day in the billing period divided by the number of days in the billing period. Interest is found using I equals PRT, where P is the average daily balance, R is the annual interest rate, and T is time in years, which is calculated by taking the number of days in the month divided by 365. Here are the steps for using the average daily balance method. Step 1, find the unpaid balance for each day in the billing period. Step 2, find the sum of all of those unpaid balances. Step 3, divide that sum of all unpaid balances by the number of days in the billing period. This calculates an average. Step 4, calculate the interest or finance charge using the simple interest formula, I equals PRT, where P is the average daily balance, calculated in step 3 above, R is the annual interest rate, and T is time in years. Example 1. Use the average daily balance method to complete the following, rounded to the nearest cent. Assume the annual interest rate of 15.5%, and the billing period is from July 1st to July 31st. In part A, we will calculate the average daily balance. In part B, we will calculate the interest to be paid on August 1st, the next billing date. And in part C, we will find the balance due on August 1st, including interest. To find the average daily balance, it is convenient to create a table in order to organize the information. So a table listed here in part A was created with columns for the balance, the days at that balance, the number of days at that balance, and then the sum of the balances for those days. We will begin with the previous balance listed in the directions, and we will place that in the first cell, $3,820. We will be at that balance from July 1st to July 4th. Notice on July 5th, something happened. But for 4 days, we will be at a balance of $3,820. So essentially, we will have to add $3,820 4 times. Once for July 1st, once for July 2nd, once for July 3rd, and once for July 4th. Instead of adding it 4 times, it is convenient to just multiply by 4. So we are going to take the balance and multiply by the number of days at that balance. If I take 3,820 times 4, I will get 15,280. Okay, then on July 5th, a payment is made, which is a credit on the account. This will cause our balance to decrease. So if I take my previous balance of $3,820 and decrease that by 500, that will give a new balance of $3,320. And that will be the balance on July 5th and 6th. Notice on July 7th, something new happens. So for 2 days, our balance will be $3,320. Multiplying by 2 gives a sum of $6,640 for those 2 days. On July 7th, notice 2 things happen. We have a charge of $97.20 $1.26 and a charge of $29.99. If we combine those, we get a charge of $127.25. So if we take our previous balance of $3,320 and add in those new charges, we will obtain a new balance of $3,447.25. And that will be the balance on July 7th through July 14th. Notice on July 15th, something else will happen. So now we need to count the number of days. And if we count, there will be 8 days. So July 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th gives a total of 8 days. It's a common mistake to think that if I take 14 minus 7, that will give me 7 days. But if we count them, we will see that there are actually 8 days from July 7th to July 14th. If I take my balance of $3,447.25 and multiply by the 8 days for that balance, we get a sum of $27,578. Okay, now on July 15th, we have a new charge. So if we take our previous balance and add in the new charge of $11.76, then that gives us a new balance of $3,459.01. And that will be the balance from July 15th to July 29th. If we count, that is a span of 15 days. Multiplying $3,459.01 by 15 gives a sum of balances for those days of $51,885.15. Lastly, on July 30th, a credit is posted to the account due to a return. So if we take our previous balance and subtract the $34.85 credit, we will get a new balance of $3,424.16. Remember, a credit will cause our balance to decrease. So money is going towards that balance. And we will be at that balance on July 30th and July 31st, so for 2 days. Multiplying gives a result of $6,848.32. To find the average daily balance, we will need to calculate the sum of the number of days, which ends up being 31. And that makes sense because there are 31 days in July, which is this billing cycle. So that should match. And then we're going to calculate the sum of all of the balances for all of these days. That would be like finding the sum of the balance for all 31 days in this billing cycle. So if I add those amounts, I get a total of $108,231.47. Now the average daily balance is found by taking the sum of the balances for all those days, so $108,231.47, and dividing by the number of days in the billing cycle. Dividing gives the result of $3,491.34. This is called the average daily balance. Okay, in part B, we will calculate the interest to be paid on August 1st, the next billing cycle. So to calculate the interest or the finance charge, we will use the simple interest formula, I equals PRT. P is the average daily balance that we just calculated. So $3,491.34. R is the interest rate stated in the problem, the annual rate, so that's 15.5%. We will represent that as a decimal, so 0.155. And time for this method is found by taking the number of days in the billing cycle and then dividing by 365. So July had 31 days. We're going to divide by 365. Calculating gives a result of $45.96. So that is the amount of interest that will be charged for this billing cycle. In part C, we will find the balance due on August 1st, including interest. So the balance due on August 1st would be the ending balance for the previous cycle. So in other words, the balance on July 31st plus any interest that has accumulated. In order to find the balance on July 31st, we can go back up to our table and notice that we are looking at the balance at the very end. So here you're not using the average daily balance, you're using the balance at the end of that billing cycle, which is $3,424.16. So you go to the very end of your table for that. Plus the interest that we just calculated, which was $45.96, which gives a result of $3,470.12. That will be the balance due on August 1st, including interest. In other words, the balance and interest from at the end of this billing cycle. This concludes example 1.